Hi, this is John, and this is week 20 of Eduardo slash Dot Dreams devlog. This is a very exciting week because this is our 5th month working on videos, and I'm very proud of our consistency. That being said, hi Greg and hi Julie. Just also quickly on the side note, we also launched our Patreon. We're not going to promote it yet until our Kickstarter, but that's there. Anyways, this week I'm going to talk about 6 reasons why you should or shouldn't do game design. This is also my 3rd take recording all this because, man, the last one was way too long. So I've cut it down and made sure I want to be very, very efficient this try. Normally we don't really write out our scripts, so, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows. I thought about it, and I'm going to start with the 3 reasons why you shouldn't. Because I feel like if you can't take the bad, I don't think you deserve the good. Okay, yeah, that's too mean. But the 3 reasons, I'm going to start with the biggest one is game design and game making is very, very economically unsustainable. Now, that's not an absolute truth. It's actually potentially very economically, explosively profitable. But I think it takes some time. You have to go through the rite of passage, and the general saying is you have to fail 3 games first before you make a somewhat successful game. And just stats I think you guys should know is the average income of indie game studios is $500. That is very, very low. I don't remember where I got it, but it is very, very low. And I think if you can't handle it economically, the results economically, you will have to take a side job or something first on the side, or for example, it's hard economically, and that might not be a big deal for younger kids, but after college or during college, you don't have a lot of free time for you to dabble around, and because of economic reasons. And I think this one is probably the hardest for all game designers. Now that's number 1. Number 2 is it destroys your ability to play games for fun. Like last week after our convention, I wanted to take a break, but man, every game I play, everything is a case study now. It's just things I can see, there are mechanics I really, really like, and there are mechanics I think I can take and use better. So everything becomes a case study. You go into games very analytically, and you stop really play game for fun. You really lose that sense of joy. And this might be a personal thing, but from talking to a lot of other indie games, it seems to be the same case for everyone. And it's very, very different. Enjoying games and making games is extremely different. So I like to say is there's 20% of fun, 10% comes from talking and coming up with an idea, 10% is from when you're almost done, when you're completing your project. But there's 80% of boring work where it's just, I know I have to do this next, I have to do this next, and most people can't stand that. Most people think game design is all fun, but I would say it's actually exact opposite. It's mostly boring and tedious work and 20% of fun. But those who go into game design look forward to that 20%. Now the last one is game design / game making requires an extremely strong willpower. I would say that's the same for any artistic pursuit. You have to have a strong willpower. Why? There is no right and wrong. Like I said in my last video, there are no rights and wrong in this. I don't know if it's R or is. You are walking on very, very unstable ground. Very, very. You're pretty much going into the uncertainty, and you have to be able to take a stand, make a step forward, knowing that it might be the worst thing you can do, and you have to suffer the consequences. You have to suffer the consequences, but you have to move forward. If you stop thinking and trying to make sure everything you do is perfect, you will not move forward. You will end up like most of my friends in college. You will not finish a game. You have to walk forward. You have to take steps. You have to realize it might be wrong, but you walk forward. And I think that one is a little bit hard. And I would say this one's the hardest that you can control, I would say. So those are the 3 reasons of why you shouldn't go into game design. Now, if that all 3 turns you off, then maybe game design is not for you. But I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why I think you should go into game design. Number 1, it is extremely liberating. I don't, because of what I just said on the third reason why you shouldn't do it, because you have such a strong willpower to do things, you can quite literally do anything you want. And it feels so good when you just go like, oh, I want to make something fly, and you just do it. There's no one to tell you that you can't do that. You might have teammates that will say, that's a stupid idea, but that is part of the fun. And actually, I think because there are people who reject your ideas, you have to learn how to persuade, and you have to learn how to communicate and talk to them. You actually end up picking up skills that you can translate to any future endeavors as well, which is the ability to communicate with your teammate. Well, that is considering the fact that you did persuade your friend. But it is extremely liberating. You can do whatever you want, and you will be able to pick up skills on the side. Now, the second reason, and I actually personally think is the strongest reason, is you will enjoy a sense of accomplishment, pride, and achievement. I think those are the same thing. When you're working, actually, I have never experienced so much flow, the state of flow, as much as as I have in other pursuits such as music and all that stuff. When I'm playing and when I'm making games and I'm working on that 80% of boring work, I am so happy. And I think based on psychology, when you're in the state of flow, you are the happiest. And what is the state of flow? You are focused, you're looking forward to the future, you are expecting something good, and during this time, you're not thinking about anything else. It's just work. Time goes by fast. You do not worry about anything. You actually, we tend to forget what we're supposed to be eating and all that stuff. When you're in the state of flow, you are the happiest, and you will feel like you can do anything as long as you work hard on it. And game design, I think, is the best way to enter that state of flow. That is considering that you do enjoy and you have the passion for game design. Okay? Now, the last reason is why you should go into game design is anyone can do it. You can do it. I can do it. Everybody can do it. In fact, I would even suggest people who don't have technical skills to actually go into game design. Why? I think I talked about it we talked about three videos ago. When you don't have any technical skills, you use what you have. And Unity, by the way, use Unity. It is amazing. When you don't have technical skills, you are forced to design better, and you're forced to design with a certain amount of, restriction. And good restrictions, good scope make games great. And Dhruv and I are, I would say, unlucky because we walked into this with some technical skills, a little bit of technical skills, at least him. And we end up trying to solve problems by making more content or by making stuff without actually solving the design problem. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Now, aside from all that, you pick up technical skills on the way when you're working on games too. So anyone can do it. You download Unity, you start working on a game, you're already a game designer. Of course, you want to try to finish it. But those are the three. And I don't know which one I have put more emphasis on, but there are pros and cons on both, and whether or not it is worth it is completely up to you. Just know that as pretty much the same as any pursuit in life, it is going to be difficult, but if you can take it and you can take the consequences of making a decision, then I think game design is for you. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.